Nobody left from the Nats World Series run. JP Morosi, good Monday morning to you. Two of the great men, Davey Martinez and the architect, Mike Rizzo, no longer in Washington. Wow. Your reaction to the news and what's next in our nation's capital?
Lauren, good morning. Well, I think one of the key points in the timing of this, and certainly it was a bit of a surprise on a Sunday evening when Jeff Passan broke the news, that they did have both Davey Martinez and Mike Rizzo contractual options coming up, as reported by Chelsea Janes of the Washington Post. So that may have been one of the issues in the timing of it with their options due and the decision on 2026. If they were not going to bring them back for next season, the decision, I suppose, made some sense to make it now. The issue, I think, Lauren, big picture is the Nationals had the second worst record in the National League. So I think that was maybe the biggest issue and the reason why the decision was made, even though, as you talked about earlier on in the show, the Juan Soto trade, James Wood, Mackenzie Gore, C.J. Abrams, three players now who have made all-star appearances since that trade happened. So there was a lot of good, even with the current roster, to note and to explain the success of the tenure of both Mike Rizzo and Davey Martinez. But I think for now, the biggest issue for the Nationals, they've got the #1 pick in the draft in less than a week. Now, I think a lot of the foundation in terms of who they will take, whether it's Cade Anderson, Ethan Holiday, I think that's all been done already. Mike DeBartolo is now the interim GM. We'll see about probably a larger search for the next president of baseball operations moving forward. But I think a lot of key decisions to be made. The trade deadline coming up, too. We don't know yet, Lauren, who the interim manager is going to be, although I was told yesterday that we should expect it to be from someone internal, whether it's Miguel Cairo, the current bench coach, or Matthew LeCroy, who's been the AAA manager. If it is Cairo, it'd be a unique situation. Of course, Cairo played a number of years with the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Nationals are in St. Louis to begin a series today.
That's the business. I get it. Doesn't make it easier to talk about other people's job, right? The #1 pick in the draft, that draft coming up next week. Corona High School, the hotbed for talent in California. And we keep hearing about the young phenoms. Who are we talking about this week? You got to spend some time with them.
I did, yes, Lauren. It's about 50 miles east of Dodger Stadium, the most talented high school baseball team in the country in terms of just what we're going to see from them moving forward. I had a chance to sit down with four players, all of whom are among the top 150, according to MLBpipeline.com, for the draft next weekend. Again, 4 of the top 150. And here's a little bit of a preview of the feature that we're going to see in the second hour of MLB Central about what it's like to play on this super team in California.
You want to come play at the best? It's here, Corona. You know, it's the best school in the country, and we work, we compete.
It's a lot of fun. I love winning. Winning's fun. Just seeing all the fans going crazy and the city of Corona really coming out to support.
We won it all last year, which is amazing. And then this year, I mean, I'm not going to say our team's better than it was last year, but as of right now, it's looking pretty well.
Lauren, there were hundreds of fans there the day that I spent in Corona. There you see those top 4 prospects among the best 150 period across amateur baseball in our country. There were a couple hundred people there at that game. There were, I would say conservatively, a couple dozen scouts, which is normal. And when I spoke with Andy Wise, their head coach, he said probably the biggest thing was when I saw that many scouts at practice. That's when you realize that it's a pretty unique set of circumstances there. There actually were 6 players in all going Division I, a couple additional ones from Creighton and Arizona State. Lauren, it's a little different than the high school baseball that I was around as a kid. We didn't see things like that, certainly in Essexville, Michigan. So Corona High School, again, we could see both Seth Hernandez and Billy Carlson be among the top 10 picks in the draft next weekend. And, of course, Brady Ebel, known very well to Mark DeRosa, with Dino Ebel as his third base coach for Team USA at the last Classic. So a pretty remarkable collection of talent.
We were just eating snow cones in Big League Chew. We didn't have 25.
Same with me.
Same here. My gosh, they act like 25-year-olds, don't they? All-star rosters announced. JP, congratulations to so many, all of them. And Shane Smith is the guy you want to focus on. From Rule 5 to first-time All-Star, that is a quantum leap. How the heck did he get here?
Quite a journey since
Right?
December, Lauren, for Shane Smith. And what a story. I loved the great work from Scott Merkin at MLB.com writing about the announcement yesterday for him and reflecting on how he was at Double-A Biloxi in the Brewers organization at this time last year. He's a Rule 5 pick. He adds a changeup for first-year manager Will Venable, and I think learning the craft to be able to then become an all-star and be there now on the same pitching staff as Tarek Skubal and all the greats in the American League. There you see what Shane Smith has done for the White Sox this season. Our research department, along with Elias Sports Bureau, Lauren, checked into this, and Shane Smith, the first player since Dan Uggla back in 2006 with the Marlins. There were Ugla's first half numbers there as then a Florida Marlin, of course, the one name change to go for the franchise. That's what Uggla did. He was the previous case of someone who was a Rule 5 pick in December of the previous year to then become an all-star at the middle of the next season. So quite a journey for Dan Uggla, who became a 3-time all-star. Shane Smith, let's hope it's the first of many selections for him with the White Sox. How about that? But again, congratulations to Shane Smith, a well-deserved ticket to D-Rose's hometown of Atlanta for the All-Star game
It
next
is
week.
not just the can't-miss guys, and that's what makes our sport beautiful.
Love
JP
it.
Morosi, thank you on
Thanks,
a Monday
Lauren.
morning. Appreciate you.